Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Smith from Accomplished Health and Wellness, and of course, Heather Fiore, yay, from Free State Nutrition. And we're back again together. Oh my gosh, it's been forever,
Happy New Year.
right? So, Heather has been under the weather,
Yes.
and a lot of our words rhymed this morning, apparently, or this afternoon. And so I got you a special tea today for under the weather, and it's
so
got
nice.
throat coat in it, and then some acai. She made a face. I saw that. And some acai berry or something like that.
Oh, acai.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
This is actually really good. Yeah. Maybe there's something left over in my cup or something. I don't know. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. See, she's going to drink this one,
I'm
people.
gonna drink it. Yeah.
I got this one's like the picnic / Christmas cup.
Yes, it's still good.
And then that one is the picnic
Straight up
cup,
picnic
because
right
who
here.
knows what the weather we are having right now.
Seriously.
So, anyways, we are going to talk about fiber today, right?
Yes.
And so what were you?
Well, I was
something
just about to say that, we've talked about fiber before because
a few times.
it
different
relates
things.
to a lot of different health conditions and stuff.
Lots of things.
So we're just going to kind of tie it all together today.
Okay, so fiber isn't digested, right? So it actually passes through your entire gut in its intact form.
Yes.
Is that right?
That is true.
And then it comes out your body the same way, kind of like corn. Right? Corn does that.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe not
does.
popcorn, but regular corn.
Mm-hmm.
And there's two different types.
Two different types.
So there's like soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. And so what about the soluble fiber? Obviously that dissolves in water, right? Because it's soluble.
Right. Yes, in a way. And then it just kind of it just kind of helps kind of form the stool at the end, right?
Oh, sure.
And then kind of
like it helps make the stool a little bulkier.
So that
it forms like a gel,
right?
When
Right, because it's soluble, right?
Yeah.
It picks up the water.
Yeah.
And so the places where we get soluble fiber. So the thing about it is like insoluble fiber is more common. It's easier to find. Like usually when you eat fiber, it's insoluble.
Okay.
But soluble has more health benefits. So you want to try to sometimes purposely increase your soluble
fiber.
And so you have to do that intentionally, because if you just look for things that are high in fiber, it's probably insoluble, which is also good, right?
Would chia be
yes,
soluble fiber?
Yes,
See,
it would.
It's my new favorite thing.
Good old chia.
Chia. We're not talking about chia pets either.
No, don't eat your chia pet. That would be bad.
That would be bad.
But you can eat the seeds.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they form a gel.
And they for sure form a gel. Like that is like, great visual of what happens to soluble fiber if you get some chia. Yeah. But legumes.
Oh.
Huge source of soluble fiber. Probably your biggest source of soluble fiber is going to be legumes. And then oats.
Okay.
Like Cheerios, they always say like it's good for your heart. Like it's true.
Okay.
Got soluble fiber in there. Not a lot, but anyway, soluble. Okay. And then, there's a little bit in like fruits and vegetables. Like most of it's insoluble, but some of them will have some soluble. Like the skin of an apple.
Oh, I love apples.
Yeah. Is soluble fiber.
Oh. Does it also have insoluble fiber in it?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Mostly you're going to find both in fruits and vegetables.
Okay. Yeah. So your soluble fiber can help decrease your cholesterol and blood sugar.
Yes.
Right. And then the insoluble fiber that doesn't dissolve in water, and that one can help with constipation and irregular stools, right? Because that actually helps to push things through the digestive tract.
Yeah.
And increase your bulk as well.
Yeah. They kind of work together to do that. And then if you can imagine the pipe cleaner effect of fiber is a nice visual, isn't it? But this is why This is part of like why it's good for your colon, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Clean all that stuff out.
just because you're pooping doesn't mean you're getting cleared out. But fiber.
You're so right on that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, some people, will get a stool impaction, can't talk, stool impaction, and then they actually will poop around it, and it becomes diarrhea.
Yeah.
I think they have diarrhea, but it's really a stool infection.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So get enough fiber from food, and then everything works as it should.
There you go. So what kind of insoluble fiber do we come in contact with?
So that's, the fruits and vegetables, but most of your whole grains are actually insoluble, okay. Except for oats, and then there might be some other ones.
Is there either one that creates more gassiness or not really? They both can.
I think it's the volume of it.
Oh,
okay. Like just like the quantity. Yeah, like if you just increase too much too quickly,
okay,
without adequate fluids, or even if you're getting adequate. I mean, you definitely want to increase your water intake with your fiber intake.
Yeah.
But if you do that, but you do it too fast, like you really don't eat a lot of fiber, and then all of a sudden, like you eat this huge salad, and then you've got beans in it or something.
Yeah.
Like, look out.
Something's going on.
Yeah. And that's what, a lot of people say, like, oh, chili, whatever, gassiness. But, like, it doesn't have to be like that. If you eat beans all the time,
then you're not going to be
they
like
don't cause a problem.
Oh.
It's just for people.
So then if you eat them all the time, you can't sing that song.
You cannot. And I do not.
Beans, a musical fruit.
I will just say.
You don't sing that song, or you don't eat the beans regularly?
I eat beans regularly.
And you don't sing the song?
Not a problem. I don't have to sing that song.
But that sounds
and I'm fine with that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some health benefits to fiber. So one thing is that it can normalize your bowel movements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it will increase the weight and size of your stool, meaning like it becomes more bulky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it can also soften the stool. And so a bulkier stool is easier to move through the gut, right?
Right.
It's like
bulky but not hard.
Yeah, we don't want rabbit turds. We want bulk. So, anyways, and it can also help with loose stools.
Yes.
Because it can bulk them up, and it can, make them less loose and less diarrhea-like, and coming all the time. So that's something. If you get diarrhea, you can always do the brat diet: bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast.
Mm-hmm.
Which helps bulk up the stool.
Yes.
Yeah. So normalizes bowel movements. It also helps maintain your bowel health, right? So it can decrease your risk of getting hemorrhoids, and also diverticula. So it does that because as you're having normal formed, not rabbit turd stools, those come out nicely and you don't have to push a lot.
Right.
But if they're rabbit turds, you're having to push a lot to get them out. And so that creates more pressure there, and then the blood vessels swell in that area.
I like that reaction. That was fun.
Right? That was great. I don't know where that came from, but that was funny. Sorry, we had all these emojis pop up. That was really exciting.
That's what happens when you talk about poop,
right?
In detail. We're not afraid to talk about details.
No, we aren't. So diverticula are actually little outpouchings, and they oftentimes happen at your descending colon. And the descending colon is the part on your left side. So I'll stand up and I'll show you. Descending. Okay. Ascending, transverse, descending. All right. So the descending, in the descending colon, that's where most of your water reabsorption happens. And so if your stool sits there too long and gets too much water reabsorbed, then what's going to happen? You're going to get constipated, right? Because it's harder stool and it's harder to push it out and move it, like we just said. But if you have that fiber in there and that has absorbed some of that water, then the water that's in your stool is not going to be absorbed back into your system. So it's going to be held there by that fiber.
Yes.
And so that's how it'll help bulk up your stool. So when you have that and you're not pushing to get your stool out, then so not only do you not have that back pressure on your blood vessels, but also, just so you know, you can get hemorrhoids from sitting on the toilet too long. My daughter, this is a side note, because you know I do all these side notes. So my daughter, she likes to hide in the bathroom. She'd probably be mortified if I told you that. So, but yes,
Tell the internet.
she likes to hide in the bathroom, and so she'll just sit there. And so I always knock on the door, and I'm like, "You're making hemorrhoids!" So do that.
Oh, thanks, Dr.
She's like,
Mom.
"Mom." It's so funny. So, anyways, yes. So,
That is the thing.
so the other thing is when you're pushing, right? That pushing of your stool, it also pushes pressure through your colon because you're trying to move stuff out. And then you get these outpouchings. They're like weakened areas in the descending colon. And so they just make these little outpouches, and they're called diverticula. And you can actually get stool in them,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can get infected, and that's called diverticulitis, and that
Mhm.
causes lots of pain and bloody stools, and it's
Right.
not fun at all.
So even if you have the diverticula, if you eat lots of fiber,
Mhm.
and this is the thing, you have to eat lots of fiber
Yeah.
as long as you don't have acute diverticulitis.
Mhm.
If you have diverticulosis, right?
Mhm.
Eat lots of fiber so that it all goes out nice and smooth and doesn't get stuck in those little pouches.
Yeah. We don't want that.
Don't be afraid of fiber. It is your friend.
It is. It's our friend.
Because sometimes doctors tell people like to avoid seeds and all these
Oh
things.
yeah, but do you know what the crazy thing is? Is that the studies have shown that that whole like avoid seed thing with diverticulitis doesn't actually do diddly squat.
Right.
So the diverticula diet is out because
Yes.
it's not helping.
What helps is lots of fiber.
Right.
We'll do it.
Okay. Fiber. Okay. So also it can decrease your risk of colon cancer.
Mhm.
And that's because again, you know, things are moving through easily. So you're not getting stuff sitting there. You're not
Right.
putting pressure on things. And when you do that, then you can have some increased growth in there. And so you can form little adenomas or tumors, colon cancer, that lead to colon cancer
Right.
in your colon. And so increasing your fiber can do that. But also, fiber is fermented in the colon. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and that also, you know, we talk about that gut flora and the
Mhm.
fermented and feeding your gut, right? Feeding your gut flora.
Right.
So that fermentation and of the fiber can also decrease your risk of colon cancer. So now you're in the know.
I didn't realize the link right there that you just made. I did not know that one.
Oh.
The fermentation being
Yeah,
part of the health
they're
cancer.
they're actually looking at that right now.
very cool.
Probably as we speak, they're looking at colon somewhere with fermented stuff in it. Fiber,
Lucky
fermented
them.
fiber.
We're just talking about it, but
I know.
they're in there. They're doing it.
That does not sound fun. Anyways, also it can decrease your cholesterol.
Mhm.
Right?
Yes.
And so it does that by soluble fiber can
Yes.
decrease your total cholesterol by decreasing your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol, right?
Yes, but also can increase your good cholesterol.
Your
Yeah.
LDL? I mean,
Your
HDL.
HDL.
Your
Yeah,
HDL?
so the soluble fiber can do both.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise and soluble fiber, people. That will increase your HDL and decrease your LDL,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we want.
Yes.
Cholesterol is like a whole. Have we talked about cholesterol?
I thought we did, but
I think we talked about fats, but have we really talked about cholesterol and like the goods and the bads? We should so do that.
know.
I think we should add that to our
All
list.
right, let me make sure we haven't. But yes.
Okay.
Let's carry on.
Cholesterol. Okay. It also can decrease your blood pressure and decrease inflammation.
Yes.
So those are good things.
And I think it's important about the blood pressure. Like, let's not skip over that because people always think sodium
Salt.
and salt,
Yeah,
right?
salt is a bad thing,
And it's
but
not.
fiber is a good thing.
It's not just like avoid salt. It's get lots of fiber and also dairy for blood pressure.
Dairy.
Just as a little side note.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Dairy, really?
Dairy, because like the DASH diet,
Mhm.
it's about watching
Oh!
your sodium, right? Getting your
you-
dairy, getting your.
Yeah. Do you know that Mediterranean diet made it to the top
I
this
saw
year?
that.
Yeah.
I did. Woo!
I know.
I did, I
So,
saw it.
anyways, I was excited about that. I was
That's
like
pretty
doing the
good.
happy dance in the car when I was hearing that.
Wow.
I know. I'm so excited about that diet. Okay, so it also helps control your blood sugar. And that's because do we have it?
We talked about heart healthy fats, but we did not talk
Well,
specifically about cholesterol.
We should do cholesterol.
Yes.
Okay, so soluble, what was I talking about? Blood sugar. Blood sugar. Okay, so soluble fiber particularly can slow the absorption of sugar, right?
Yes.
And so don't also fats do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And protein does a little bit too.
Yeah.
So there are different mechanisms, and they slow the blood sugar like over different time periods. So I think what happens, and now I'm going off the top of my head, which is like dangerous, but I think fat slows it first.
Okay.
So like if you eat a high fat meal, then the blood sugar increase is delayed a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Because of the fat.
Yes. Yes.
And then protein slows it next, and then fiber slows it last.
Okay. And fiber takes more because we don't digest it. And so we don't digest the fiber, right? Because it goes all the way through our system.
Yes.
And so it just buffers that absorption of
Mhm.
sugar because your body kind of is like, hey, I should get this fiber. It's healthier for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a prank caller, people. You know,
Is
they always and now they like use names. It's crazy.
It's terrible. It's like a local number, but then it's like
that wasn't even a local number. It was
Okay.
like 949 or something. Terrible. I know. So yeah. So and then insoluble fiber also can maybe decrease your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Okay. So there you go.
there you go. Get your fiber
Yeah.
for your blood pressure, for your
Yes.
cholesterol, for your diabetes, for your heart.
I mean, it's good. Yeah. And then it also can help in achieving a healthy weight.
Mhm.
So high fiber foods tend to be more filling, right? And so you'll eat
Mhm.
less and you'll stay satisfied longer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And they tend to take longer to eat.
Right. I think it's
Or-
more of an immediate effect where it'll make you feel full.
Right.
And then you need the fat and protein to actually make it last.
Okay.
But if it's just fiber, like it will fill up your stomach physically, but it won't last probably unless you have
Sure.
the combination
Sure.
of all this stuff.
Okay. And they're less dense, energy dense,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So you have fewer calories for the same amount of food.
If you're eating
If you're
foods
eating-
that are naturally high in
Fiber.
fiber,
Yeah.
right? Like
Okay.
we're going to talk about foods where they add fiber,
Yeah.
not those things.
And so it can help you live longer.
Mm-hmm.
If you increase your dietary fiber, especially cereal fiber, or does it really matter?
Oh, I was thinking
Like
fruits and
whole
vegetable
grain.
fiber, but
Well, that
it's
too.
probably all of those. Like
Whole grains and let's call it whole grains and fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
And that's because it decreases your risk of dying from cardiovascular disease,
Mhm.
and then also, the cancers that we
all these
talked
chronic
about.
illnesses, right?
Yeah, diabetes and high cholesterol and
Awesome.
whatever else. So how much fiber do we need? Like there's an age too, right? So you
Yes.
need less when you're under 51, like 51 is the magic number or something. I don't know.
And then does it go up after that?
It goes, no, sorry, other way around.
Oh, okay.
It goes,
That makes sense.
more when you're younger and less when you're older.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for kids,
Although
and I think we
most
talked
old
about this
people are
once.
constipated.
Maybe we want to reconsider that.
Yeah.
For kids, it's age plus 5.
Okay. Mhm.
And then when you graduate to being an adult, it's just 25 to 35 on average. Like if you just want to, quick and dirty.
It's like a noise, and I finally figured it out.
Really? Because I'm over here sweating.
I was trying to do that. No, she thought she had a fever, but it was really the heater.
Really, don't mess with me here.
Okay, so say that again because I was totally lost. If you're male and you're under 50,
Okay.
it's 38, right?
Okay.
50 or under. Is that what you said?
I just said like the general rule is
Oh,
like
okay.
25 to 35
25 to 35.
grams
Okay.
for adults.
Yes.
But there might
But
be
less if you're a
specifics.
woman, right? And more if you're a man.
Yeah,
Because we're smaller,
Yeah.
usually.
Our calorie requirements are
There's
lower,
some
and so that's everything.
Big women out there.
True, but
Warrior queens.
right. I mean, we're not talking about like Olympic athletes or something who eat a billion
Right.
calories. So
Ridiculous, no? Okay, so then if you're over 50, it goes down to like 20 to 30. It's really not that much difference.
it's not that
really.
much different.
It's
And
like
the thing
5
is,
grams.
nobody's eating that much, so it almost doesn't matter.
Right? It doesn't.
Mhm.
And they don't change their diet as they get older.
No,
Well,
some
except for when
people.
they move into the
Yes.
nursing home, and then
Mhm.
their diet completely changes because somebody else is cooking for them.
True. And sometimes people just start eating a lot less because they feel like they
Yeah.
don't need much because they're
Yeah.
not moving.
Right.
And it's-
Yeah, all those
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was interesting that the grain refining process that we
Mhm.
use removes the outer coat or the bran
Yes.
from the grain, and that decreases the fiber content.
Sure enough.
Yeah, so when you're having like those refined grains,
Mm-hmm.
then that's going to happen. So that happens a lot in pasta, right? Because you have like refined in flour with bread and
Right.
stuff like that.
Any white flour or regular pasta. There is whole wheat or whole
There
grain
is.
pasta. You can
Is
get
that
that.
still refined though?
No,
No. Okay.
no. You can get like whole semolina, like is
Oh, okay.
the grain,
Yeah.
and you can get the whole grain kind.
Okay. And then whole foods are better than supplements. We always say that, right? We're always saying that. This is
Yes.
like not something new.
No.
And so but the supplements that are out there are like Metamucil, Citracel, and Fibercon. But they don't provide the variety of fibers, the vitamins, the minerals, and the other beneficial nutrients that your food can give you. And they also have some gassiness.
They
That
can,
yeah.
yeah.
And-
Yeah. So same, like increase slowly, but some people just tolerate different ones
Yeah.
differently.
Mhm.
And I think there are some conditions where people might feel like they need to take a supplement, like they just can't physically
Right.
get more
Get more
fiber,
foods.
and then
Yeah.
it does help their condition
Yeah.
to take a supplement. But you kind of have to play around with which one works best for you.
Sure.
So
And then there's also added fiber in foods,
mhm,
and that's like chicory root
mhm,
and inulin. Is that right?
mhm.
And
Yeah.
those can create gassiness. for sure.
Yes, and they don't really, like, you're not really getting any benefit out of those. Like,
Right.
I don't know why they put inulin and stuff.
I
Like,
don't know.
I don't,
It's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
It is.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
But if you look on the label, fiber should be broken down by soluble and insoluble.
Mhm.
If it's not, you can pretty much guarantee it's insoluble fiber.
Okay.
All right. And like,
And
it-
is there a ratio that you want from 1 to 1? One to the other?
No, but I think like if you got like 10 grams of soluble fiber in your day, I
Mhm.
feel like that would be a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most people don't.
And most people don't. Exactly.
Okay.
And it's really hard because
Insoluble.
like if you eat like one serving of a fruit or a vegetable, you're gonna get like a couple of grams of fiber,
Right.
you know? So like it's really in small amounts in our foods. That's why we have to eat lots of these things. We have to,
Right.
and if you don't eat whole grains, like if you're eating a low carb diet,
Mhm.
you are going to be low in fiber.
Sure.
And then all the poop implications that follow and the health implications that follow. It's really hard to get enough fiber without whole grains, okay?
Right.
Because fruits and vegetables only have a couple of grams each. And then there's legumes. So certainly eat your legumes, but most
Mhm.
people aren't doing that.
Right.
Most people aren't eating a whole bunch of chia every day.
I put it in my yogurt.
I put it on a cereal.
There you go.
There you go. Can be done. But without the whole grains, it's just going to be hard to get to the 25 to the 35, even the 25, even the 20. Like,
Right.
it's going to be tough.
I'm feeling sad.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
I
make you sad.
know. I was like, dang. Okay. So
That's-
now we know, people, how we have to add it. And like you said, we have to add it slowly.
Yes.
And over a few weeks, because your gut flora also has to adjust to this and be able to acclimate, right? To help you move this along. Because they don't really digest it.
Right.
They just see it and go, "What are you? I
Mhm.
haven't seen you before. Move along."
Yeah.
Right?
Trouble.
This is the conversation in your gut.
Mhm.
And then you have to drink lots of water because fiber works best when it's absorbed water.
Mhm.
Right? We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Well, at least soluble fiber does
Yeah.
work better.
Right. Makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
So you can get too much fiber, right? And that can cause some constipation too.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
It's sort
you're
of
going
interesting.
overboard.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So-
And that was the thing that I think we meant to say was like, these are the recommendations, but like more isn't better. Like just because 25 to 35 or 38 or whatever is good, that doesn't mean like 50 is good.
Right. No. More isn't better in this world, in this element, because then you can get the same symptoms.
Yeah. It's
Constipation.
kind of ironic. Yeah. And then part of it too is that you're probably off balance with your diet if you're eating
Lots of fiber.
too much stuff with fiber, and then you're missing out on other things.
That's true. It's really hard, I'm finding, to have this, balanced diet. They have like that little plate thing now, or the food pyramid, but
Yeah,
man, this is pretty complicated.
it can be.
All this fiber and calcium and
I know.
protein
Get
and
all your
fat and
stuff.
magnesium and, oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. Good thing we have you. Then we can learn all these things. Okay. So we've beat fiber to death and we've pushed it through our gut. And now we're done.
And now we gotta go.
Do we have any? Yes. And now we have to go. So do we have anything else we want to say on fiber before we go?
I think that's all the things. We danced around seeds, and I just realized like I didn't mention like nuts. Like those guys have a little bit of fiber too.
Yeah.
Nuts and seeds and those.
Yeah.
guys.
They do, and they have fat, which is lovely.
Yes.
I love nuts to eat as a snack.
And that reminded me because you mentioned magnesium. Like, oh, we got to get all these nutrients, but
gosh.
if you eat some nuts,
yes.
they'll hook you up.
Cashews are a good source of magnesium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Now you know all about fiber,
Yeah.
everything you wanted to know. And if we didn't answer your question, then just ask us and we'll try to answer it for you.
Yep.
And what are we going to talk about next time?
Well, I mean, we could do cholesterol since we've
Since
established
we kind of
that-
talked about that we need to talk about cholesterol.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
I don't have other. I mean, we only have a few other things.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
magnesium is actually on here. That we
Oh,
should talk about.
calcium, magnesium, potassium.
Yeah, so we have some like vitamins and minerals and stuff to talk about, but maybe we should do cholesterol.
Okay. Cholesterol. That's what we're doing next time.
Okay.
And we're moving back to Tuesday.
Tea time on
Two times Tuesday.
Yes, yes.
And we'll try to remember to have our tea. This one's good, actually. I might just have this one again.
Mhm.
And then next time we're going to talk about cholesterol. And remember, you guys can find us everywhere. You want to find us? Well, not everywhere, but you can find us on YouTube, Facebook,
Our
websites,
websites.
anywhere. If you have a dying question or you have a topic you want us to talk about, please send us a little message. And we hope that you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Bye.